Hi, I'm here with Jim Hill, Executive Chairman of Benesch Law. Jim, tell me what types of companies you represent.
Sure. We're primarily a firm that represents middle market companies. Now, middle market's defined differently by everyone, but I would say our typical company runs from about $50 million in revenues to about $1.5 billion in revenues.
Okay.
We do some work for Fortune 100 companies too, but that's more project-oriented than just general counsel-oriented.
Okay. And what are the key areas in which you create value for your clients?
Well, I think, first of all, we spend a lot of time getting to know our clients, getting to know their financials, getting to know their industry. We go to trade conferences with them. We allow them to network with people we know that we think can help them. Not necessarily people that are exactly in the same industry as they are, but maybe consultants, sometimes investment bankers, sometimes people that may be on their supply chain and can help them in that regard. So we always try to add value to our clients besides just doing really good legal work.
And if you can tell me a little bit about the private equity offerings you handle?
Sure. We represent a lot of private equity firms nationwide. I think our mean fund size is about $502 million. So we obviously do a lot of work for them. We do fund formation, we purchase companies for them, we represent the portfolio companies, we recap them. We may do tuck-ins, and then ultimately we dispose of them. We also do, putting outside institutional private equity, we will, for certain companies, do private placements of equity. We're not really focused on super early stage. That's a tough business to be in, but we have helped a number of companies raise growth capital, which oftentimes isn't necessarily from an institutional private equity firm, but maybe from a group of individuals.
And what is the range of the growth capital that you've helped raise?
Oh, everything from $2 million to $200 million.
Okay, great. And tell me a little bit about the debt offerings that you also handle for public and private companies.
Sure. Well, I think you're talking about debt offerings to the public versus debt offerings to lenders. So we handle 144A offerings. We've done a number of those over the years. High yield debt has been very, very much in demand. It slowed down this year, but last year we did a number of high yield debt offerings. We'll also do debt offerings for companies that are smaller, that may not necessarily go to a regulated lender, may go to a CLO or a BDC or something like that. So we handle those debt offerings also.
Great. And you've been named Ohio's super lawyer and one of the best lawyers in America for 8 consecutive years. How do your services exceed those of your peers?
Well, my practice, much like some of my partners' practices, is a 24/7 practice. Now, responsiveness is a given, I think, if you're a business lawyer, but I think the other advantages that we bring to the table and why we continue to expand our practice is we spend a lot of time with our clients both on the clock and off the clock. We get to know our clients very well, we get to know the management teams very well, we get to know their industries very well, and I think if you were to talk to our clients, they really value that we really understand their business. So we know, not just top line revenue, but we know all about their challenges in their business. We'll spend time with them off the clock at dinners, discussing strategic strategies that they have, maybe their biggest 5 impediments to growth over the next 3 years. So we spend a lot of time with them getting to know their business, which they really value because, as you know, most people in their businesses, they spend oftentimes more time in their business than they do with their families.
Absolutely. Great. And I know you're busy, Jim, so I have one last question for you.
Sure.
How do you plan on growing business in the next year, or what are some strategies that you plan on using?
Well, our own business will continue to grow. A number of us speak nationally. We speak to private equity firms, we speak to industry groups, we speak to a lot of industrial industry groups, but also healthcare groups, transportation groups. And the other thing that we're doing is we have continued to find other firms to merge with. So we continue to grow our geographic footprint throughout the country.
Great. All right, Jim, well, I thank you so much for meeting with me.
My pleasure.
And if you're interested in learning more and connecting with Jim Hill, go to fundology.com.